Morning, sir.
Okay, so last class, what were we are discussing? What we are discussing? Last topic, what we discussed?
Configurations related to vendor and goods supplier.
Okay, today, so vendor has been created, right? Vendor has been created. Now, um, special GL indicator. Accounts payable. I think last class we discussed about vendor, how to create the vendor group and vendor master records. Then we did some invoices and purchase returns, and we saw the reports also, right? And for that vendor, we assigned terms of payment which we maintained in account receivable, right? So same terms of payments we maintained. We didn't create a new terms of payment for vendor. Now we are going with special GL indicator. Special GL indicator. If you remember, in account receivable, in account receivables, we received down payment or advance payment from customer, right? It is treated as a, what is the down payment we receive from customer, treated as liabilities, right? Now in this case, here also we are having a special GL indicator, but in a different way. In a different way, or what are the down payment or advance payment made to vendor is treated as current asset. But here we cannot do the direct entry, or we cannot post the down payment entry, because so what are the down payment we received from the made to vendor, it is considered as a asset, but while creating vendors, we assign sundry creditors, which is created under liabilities and provisions group. Liabilities and provisions group. So we need to link these two account, sundry creditors, and I'm going to link with down payment to vendor, or down payment paid account. I need to assign, or I need to make link between these two accounts. How to do the link? We are having, so sundry creditors, I think number will be 100601, and this one is down payment, what we paid, down payment paid to vendor is created under current asset, and 200230. Okay, so it is created under current asset, and sundry creditors we created under liabilities and provisions. So now I need to link between these two accounts. And how to link? We are having a two special GL indicator which is provided by SAP. Two special indicator or GL indicator. One is A. A stands for down payment on current asset, and another indicator is F, down payment request. Okay, these are the two indicators we are having in system. With the help of these two indicators, we need to link these two ledgers. And after that, this is the configurations as a consultant we need to maintain. And after that, end user, how they used to maintain the postings. So end user activity. First what I will do, vendor is going to send we are going to inquire the material regarding we require so much of material. Okay, and we are going to send a quotation to, or we are inquire the regarding the particular material with vendor. Vendor has sent the quotation. In that quotation he mentioned 25% should be the down payment. Then only we are going to deliver the goods to you people. Okay, if you are ready to pay 25% as a down payment, you will get the material. So first we'll see down payment request from vendor. Then after receiving the down payment request, what we'll do, we are going to make the down payment. So down payment made or paid. Then after that, once we payment made, then we are going to post the purchase invoice and down payment cleared entry I need to pass. So why I need to pass, as we made the down payment, and what is the necessity of down payment cleared? Because after down payment paid, balance get updated at GL level only. That is, you can see the balance in FBL 3N. But once, if you want to see the balances in individual vendor account, then you need to clear the down payment. Okay, after down payment, balance get updated at individual vendor account. That is, we can see the balance in FBL 1N, that is vendor account line item display. FBL 3N is GL account line item display, and FBL 1N means vendor account line item display. Okay. Okay, these configurations we can see, or we are going to do in system. First I'll come to system, or I'll use to log into my SAP. Okay, first let me check whether required ledger is there or not. I'll go to FS00 and I'll go to change my company code as PSD. Then in current asset I'm having advanced vendor, I'm having, okay, and then liabilities and provisions I'll go sundry creditors I'm having. Okay, I need to link with these two accounts. Okay, for that I will go to IMG level. To do the configurations, I'll go to IMG level, then IMG, I'll go to financial accounting, account receivable and accounts payable, business transactions, down payment made, define alternative reconciliation account for down payment, T code OBYR. Here we are having two, as I told you, we are having a two special GL indicator I need to maintain. One is A and second one is F. So first double click on F. Here I will input my chart of account PSCA, press enter, and here assign a reconciliation account. Okay, sorry, not LST, right? So my company code is PSD, sorry. Okay, here I need to assign this sundry creditors first, and for special GL indicator or special GL account, it's vendor advance to vendor account. Save. First one is sundry creditors and second one is advance to vendor. Okay, come back and double click on A, special GL indicator A, and same repeat the configurations. Here reconciliation account, sundry creditors, special GL indicator 200230, that is advance to vendor. Save. This is only one configuration. As a consultant we need to maintain. Okay, so we'll come to easy access level. Okay, I'll go to accounting first, and first configurations will be down payment request. I'll go to financial accounting, easy access accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, then document entry, down payment, F-47 request. So I'll get today's date 24/2021, company code PSD, period 1, currency INR, down payment request. Okay, first I need to check which are all vendors it comes under, which are all vendors comes under down payment. So I'll go to XK or FK02. Let me check. Okay, we are having 3 vendors. Okay, we'll check one by one. I'll go to payment transaction. Okay, this is not, this vendor is not comes under down payment. Now I'll go to some other vendor. Yeah, no, this is not that. Okay, what I'll do, I'm going to create one more vendor that I can assign installment payment to him. Okay, so I'll come to accounting, easy access accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, master records, FK01 create. Here I'll leave vendor column as blank, company code PSD, and account group PSDV, that is domestic vendor group. Enter. Here I'll mention the title as company, name I'll give like this, vendor name, address of vendor Bangalore, country India, region 10. As you know how to create the vendor, right? So I'll move fastly. Okay, here I need to assign reconciliation account as sundry creditors, sort key 012, cash management group A1, that is domestic payment. A1 means domestic payment. Enter. Here I'm going to assign PSIP. I think we had created. Let me check it is there or not, otherwise I need to create it again. Oh, it is not there. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll create one terms of payments for installment. PSIP. Yes, I'm right. Let me check here. No, it is not there. PS3T is there. Okay, only one terms of payments. Okay. PSIP 25%. next entry PSI1, 25% down payment, select document date. Next entry PSI2, 25% 10 days. Next entry okay. Now we are going to link all this installment payment. Okay, PSIP 1/25%. Now I'll assign here PSIP. Go back to vendor creation. Now I can assign. Then definitely tolerance group I need to assign here. So tolerance group PSD. Press enter. Dunning procedure is not applicable to vendor, so I will not use any dunning procedure here. And save. Okay, now the vendor has been created, and that for that vendor we assigned installment payment, right? Now we'll make a entry of down payment. So we'll come to down payment F-47, and I'll give today's date, and text will be down payment request. Then I'll select the vendor here. Just now I have created GSHC and down payment special GL A. Enter. Okay, we are getting the error that number range is not maintained. Okay, I think in our previous classes we did number ranges for 2020. Now fiscal year has been changed, so I need to carry forward the ranges as it is. So what are the number ranges we maintained in 2020 that I need to transfer to, or that carry forward to 2021. How to do? We are having option called OBH1, or if you are having a number ranges error, then you can go to FBN1 or OBS7. So I will mention here. If you want to maintain number ranges, then go to OBS7 or FBN1. So either one of these T code you can go and you can create your own or a new number ranges if you want to, or if you want to carry the number ranges from one fiscal year to another, go to OBH2. To creation of new number ranges, either you can go OBS7 or FBN1. Okay, to carry forward the number ranges from one fiscal year to another fiscal year, go to OBH2. Okay, I will go to OBH2 because already we maintained the number ranges in 2020. So same number ranges I am going to carry forward. Okay, press enter. Company code I will give here company code PSD, and range from 01 to X2. What are the number ranges is available from 01 to X2, that should be carry forward from 2020 to 2021. Then click on execute. Yes, I think it is not there. Let me check in FBN1 first whether number ranges is there or not. which we are having a number ranges, why it is not giving. Okay, 21, yes, 21 is there. Okay, now I'm getting error for 17, right? Okay, we'll use 17, 20, 21. Okay. Here I'll give 95999. Okay, save. What are the number ranges available? I use that, and now I'm going to click on save. Okay, now come back to F-47. Press enter here. Okay, I'll give the amount as 25,000. Due on 24/4/2021, and down payment request. Save. Okay, after seeing after getting the down payment request, we are going to make the payment. Go to F-4080 to maintain the payment. Okay, here I'll give today's date, and here down payment paid or made, anything you can give, and select the vendor here, and special GL indicator A. Mention the bank details as we created the bank. 200201 is HDFC bank account, and amount 25,000, value date today's date, and down payment made. Okay, amount 25,000 again, text down payment made. Sorry, wait. Or down payment paid. Enter save. Okay, so we made the payment. Next, what is that? We are going to post the invoice. Go to FB60. And first of all, change the country code here. Vendor, I will take a vendor which is there in the system. Now we had created the vendor. Okay, now I will give today's date only, and amount 1 lakh, as we made 25,000 down payment. Text will be purchase invoice posting, and I will give GL account number, and again 1 lakh, amount 1 lakh. Press enter, we will get the information like this: 25,000 INR down payment on current asset exists. Okay, already we made the payment, so that's the reason we are getting the message like this. Okay, enter and save. Okay, next either you can go FBL1N, go to FBL1N, take the down payment, select all item. If you select normal item and execute, you will not get the down payment records here, because it's a new GL, right? So if you want to see the balances of the down payment what you made, just deselect normal and select special transaction. Okay, see, we can see the down payment paid entry here, because it's a special GL, right? See here the special GL indicator A, it is mentioned here. Okay, Okay, now what we do, down payment clear. Go to F-54. Down payment clear. Mention the date, today's date, and text will be down payment clear. Mention the vendor here, and again down payment cleared. Okay, we'll get a screen like this, and select the line item which you want to clear. Okay, then click on save. You need to select the line item and click on save. Now entry got posted. Now go to FPL 3N, sorry FPL 1N, that is vendor account, line item display. Input the vendor, select all item and select normal item. Just don't select special or noted, just execute. See here, we'll get the down payment clear entry here, as it is a normal entry. Okay, so this is how we are going to maintain the down payment or special GL indicator. Now this part is over. Okay, next one. I think we had created the centralized vendor. Let me check whether it is created or not. It's 02. No, we not yet created the centralized vendor. Now we'll create that one. Okay, we'll create the centralized vendor. So as we know how to create the vendor, but creation of vendor will be in a different way. Means if you want to maintain the integration between other department and we need to do some transaction, for that kind of transaction we require centralized vendor. So what are the vendors we created in FKS01? What are the vendors we created in FKS01 that cannot be used to or used by any other department? Okay. So what are the vendors we created in FKS01? F stands for finance, K for vendor, and 01 is creation. Okay. So what are the vendors we created under this T code? It cannot be used for any other department. F stands for finance only, right? If you want to maintain any transaction or integration with any other department, and in that particular module, like vendor will be maintained by finance department as well as MM department, because MM is also called as purchase department and vendor is a goods supplier for our company, right? What are the goods they purchase with vendor only? That's the reason as a MM they are also going to create vendor also. But for finance it is sufficient by using these two data. Okay, finance it is very sufficient to maintain basic data or general data, company code data. But if you want to create vendor centralized, we need to add one more data called as purchasing data. In purchasing data, terms of payments, currency, Incoterms, all these things we need to maintain. As we already discussed in account receivable, what is the data which comes under customer creation. In the same way, in vendor creation also we are having three types of data. One is general data, second one is company code data, and third one is purchasing data. In FKS01 we use only two data, that is basic data or general data and company code data. We never touched, or in FKS01 we cannot use purchasing data. Okay, so we did all these things. This one we did. Now I need to go and do the or create the vendor under XK01, where we are going to use all data, basic or general data, company code data, and purchasing data. Okay, so I'll go to easy access again, accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, master record, maintained centrally, XK01, create. FK01 is for financial level, XK01 for centralized level. Okay, again leave vendor column as blank, company code is there. One more thing you need to add here is purchase organization. While creating the vendor in FK01, we are not having this option, right? Only two options, the company code and account code. But here we are having one more option called purchasing organization. There I need to assign my purchasing organization. So if you know, you can type it here. Otherwise you can search by clicking F4 or pressing F4. I think we had created as a PSPO. Let me check. Yes, this is our purchasing organization. So input PSD, PSPO, PSTV. Okay, press enter. And here title you can give company, any option you can select, and the name. Here I'll give PSD CNTR vendor, that is central vendor. PSD CNTR vendor. Input the address, Bangalore. You can give any address here, but I'm mentioning that Bangalore. Enter. Okay, here I need to mention the mobile. Enter. No need to maintain bank account here as of now. Here also it is not mandatory. Press enter. And here reconciliation account, I'll select sundry creditors or T012 account group A1. Enter. Payment terms, either I can use PSTT or IP, but up to us. Then tolerance group, PSD again. Running procedure is not applicable. Press enter. And we are having one more option called the purchasing data, right? Here we got the purchasing data that I need to maintain the currency. It is very important in this particular vendor which currency we are going to maintain. It is very important. So I am mentioning INR only because it's domestic vendor again. And terms of payment, PS3T. Incoterms, international commercial terms will be CFR or cost and freight, and location will be Bangalore. So these are the data implemented. Let's press enter and save. So this is how we are going to maintain the centralized vendor. If you want to modify, go to XK02. If you want to display, XK03, block XK05, XK06 deletion indicator, XK04 display changes. So here the same, just remove F and put X, that will become centralized. Okay, so FE stands for finance and X is centralized. Okay, but before that you should have the purchasing organization and account group, company code, all these things. And this customer can be used by any department because it's a centralized. Okay, so that is centralized creation. Okay, here we are left out with the two topic. One is TDS and second one is GST, and third one is automatic payment problem. Okay, so today I will cover TDS. Then tomorrow we'll try to complete these two. Okay. Okay. So we'll complete, or we'll try to complete TDS today. So what is TDS? TDS, it is also called as withholding tax, or it is, TDS means tax deduction at source. Means whenever you wish to purchase any material, we need to pay the TDS, right? Whenever we used to purchase the material, need to pay TDS. But how to pay and what are the sources we are having to levy the tax, or so what are the sources we are having? Here we are having two sources, invoice and payment. Whenever invoice or payment are posted, on that basis TDS should be calculated and deduct. Okay, whichever is happens or whichever is posted early. Say example, if invoice is posted early, then that should be calculated on invoice, or sometimes in case of advance payment, that should be calculated on the advance, that is our down payment. Okay, so this is what we call as source, tax deduction at source. We are having two sources here, invoice and payment. Almost or in maximum time, the TDS will be deduct on invoice only. Okay, TDS will be deduct on invoice only, but sometime what happen, we'll make the payment in advance. On that basis also it can be calculated or it can be deducted. So example, assume that we are going to purchase 1 lakh worth of goods. This is what we call as base amount or invoice amount. Okay, we are calculating 10% of TDS, or we are taking 10% as a TDS percentage, but it's not a standard. You need to inquire regarding tax company or tax office regarding TDS percentage. Okay, and the tax always will be, or taxes will be deduct on always on base amount. So every tax and every discounts and every other things will be calculated on the base amount or gross amount. So example, 10% on 1 lakh is 10,000, and my net purchase will be around 90,000. So net purchase will be around 90,000. Okay, so initially, or what are the configuration I has to maintain here? Okay, so reconnect, I will discuss that one. Okay, so we'll continue. Okay, here as a consultant, what are the configuration I need to maintain? Configuration. First, I need to do the, or I need to create tax type. Say example, I am going to create P1 for my invoice posting and P2 for my payment posting. Okay, so I'll use two tax type, P1 and P2. So P1 stands for 10% TDS on invoice posting, P2 10% TDS on payment posting. Okay, for that particular tax type I need to maintain tax code. So what I'll do, I'm going to reverse that tax type. Okay, 1P and 2P. So what is the purpose of our code, tax code? And although we are having tax type, the difference between tax type and tax code is tax type is going to link with the country and tax code is going to link with company code. Tax type is going to link with country and tax codes will be linked with company code. Okay, so later we are going to link these two, tax type and tax code, we are going to link with each other. Okay, then after that I need to assign this tax code and tax type to my company code. Then activation should be maintained. Then this is end user activities. After configuration, end user used to assign that tax code and tax type to vendor master record. Okay, that is very much mandatory. And after that, to check the configuration, they used to post the entry and check whether TDS is deducting or not. Here we are not having any end user or consultant separately. Here we need to do the configuration ourselves, and same by using that same configurations we need to try to post the entries. Okay, for this withholding tax I am not having any T codes, just we need to maintain the path, or according to path we are going to configure. Okay, here one more options we can do as a mandatory, not mandatory, as a optional, that if my invoice or payment above 20,000, then only TDS will be applicable. Below 20,000 it should not be applicable. You can maintain like that. Again, it's not a mandatory, it is an optional configurations. So according to our requirement, we can do like this. It is not mandatory. Again, sometimes what will happen in company or in some companies, many invoices are below 20,000, so we can maintain like that. So about 20,000 or above 50,000 or above 10,000, then only TDS should be applicable. Below 20,000 or 10,000 it should not be, or 50,000 it should not be applicable. You can maintain any amount here. Just I maintain 20,000. You can maintain any amount here. Okay, so I'll come to SAP. Okay, then I'll go to IMG first. I'll do the configuration. I'll go to financial accounting, new, global setting, new, withholding tax, extended withholding tax. Here I'll go to basic settings. First one, withholding tax countries. So click on withholding tax countries, new entry, and country IN, withholding country also IN. Let me check whether it is available. TDS tax procedure for company code PSD. Now IN is already there. INP I'll give. Withholding country INP. Save this. Now I'll minimize the basic setting. I'll enter into calculation. There expand withholding tax type. there is an option called define withholding tax type for invoice posting. Just click on that. Define withholding tax type for invoice posting. Country IN. Enter. New entries. Click on new entries, and withholding tax type I'll give P1, and here I'll give the description as 10% TDS on invoice posting. First I'll use for invoice, then I'll give for invoice posting, and the calculation should be on net amount, and calculation should be automatically. Okay, so I'm going to deselect manual withholding tax amount. Remaining thing is not necessary or not required so far. Okay, so I need to mention the tax type, description, and I'm telling my system that my calculation should be on net amount. Then it should be calculate automatically. I'm not using any manual calculation. System will take care of the calculations. Okay, save. Already defined as a tax type, so I'll give P3. Okay, P1 is already there. Here I'm giving P3. Okay, P2. Okay, private finance system. Okay. Okay, now this one is over. Now I'll come back to this one and click on define withholding tax type for payment posting. Country key IN, enter. New entry, here I'll give P4. My tax type is P4 and 10% TDS on payment posting. Payment posting. Need to maintain same procedure, so I'm going to select net amount and manual withholding tax. Deselect manual withholding tax. Save. A tax type has been created. Now I'll come back to this level and I'll minimize tax type and I'll go to tax code. Here I need to maintain the tax code. Define withholding tax code. Country key IN, enter. New entries. Withholding tax type I mentioned P4, sorry P3, and tax code will be, just I reverse that one, 3P. Description 10% as we discussed or as we defined, 10% TDS on invoice posting. Okay, percentage subject to tax 100%. It's eligibility is there. Then post indicator. Press F4, you will get an indicator there. So I am going to select standard posting. Okay. Then how much the rate, the percentage, here I'm going to mention 10%. Okay. Now we are having one more tax type. So click on next entry, P4 and 4P. And here I'll mention 10% TDS on payment posting. 10% percentages subject to tax 100, post indicator 1, rate 10%. Save. Okay, tax type and tax code has been created. Now define formulas. As I told you, we can maintain like this, means above 20,000 or above 10,000 or 50,000. If above 50,000 we did any transaction, then only TDS should be applicable. Below that it should not be applicable. We can do, or we can maintain the configuration like that. As I told you, it's not a mandatory. It's an optional configuration. Okay. For that I need to maintain the formula. If I want to do this configuration, I need to maintain the formula. I'll show that one also. Okay, define formulas for calculating withholding tax. Again, country key IN, press enter. New entries. Here country IN, sorry, withholding tax type P3 and type 3P, withholding country INP, valid from 01/01/2021. Currency, sorry, currency is INR, sorry. Again, currency is INR, type P4, code 4P, INP country, withholding country, and tax code will be, sorry, valid from 01/04/2021. Save. Okay, now I need to maintain the minimum amount. Okay, select this one P3 and double click on formulas for calculating withholding tax. Okay, new entry. Here I am going to mention my minimum base amount if my invoice or payment above 20,000 or 20,000 and above, it should be, TDS should be applicable. So I am mentioning 20,000 is a base amount or minimum amount, and maximum amount and percentage. Save. Come back and select P4, then new entry again. Base amount I will maintain 20,000, 10%. Save. Okay, now it is not a mandatory, although I maintain. Okay, now the calculation, minimize the calculation. I will come to company code. There I need to assign my tax type to my company code. Already we assigned tax type and tax code. Now we are going to assign tax type to company code. Okay. New entry here. Company code PSD. Tax type is P3. And I need to select tax code agent, withholding tax code agent. And it is asking for from which period to which period you are going to maintain. So I am going to give 1/4/2021 to 31st March 2022. Right. And tax number, if you are having tax number, you mention it here. And the tax customer TDS is not be applicable, so I'm going to mention anything here. Now click on next entry. PSD again, P4, select withholding tax agent, again obligated from until. Save. Okay, next to activate extended withholding tax. After doing all these configurations, I need to activate this. It is very important. Without activations, the TDS should not be applicable, or it should not be calculated. Okay, now I need to activate. Okay, someone is using. One minute. Okay. So activate withholding tax position, click on position, company code PSD, and here you need to select extended withholding tax amount and save. So once you activated, it will be the caution that you are activated. Withholding tax, so ignore the warning or information and save. Okay, now what are the tax code we maintain? It's withholding tax code P3 and P4 that I need to link with my TDS GL. Okay, that I need to come to posting and accounts for withholding tax. There, click on define accounts for withholding tax to be paid over. Define accounts for withholding tax to be paid over. Here mention the chart of account PSCA, enter. Here select tax type, save, and here mention the tax type as P3, and I think we have created TDS payable GL. Search in the system, yes, we are having the TDS payable GL, so select 100603, and whenever any transaction happens in TDS or any postings or any TDS is deducted, that should be reflected in this particular account, or any invoices on without TDS, whenever TDS is calculating on withholding tax, then it should come to this account. And again, same account I need to maintain. So, whenever any TDS deducted on payment, again that should comes under or comes to this GL. Okay, save this. Okay, now the configurations part is over. Now I need to assign this code and type to my vendor master record. Okay, I'll come to easy access level. You can write down or can note down, assign this withholding tax type and tax code to vendor master record. Either you can go to FK02 or XK02. Okay, path will be easy access, accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, master records, maintain centrally, XK02, change. Go to XK02, select your vendor, company code, and purchasing organization you need to mention, then select withholding tax here and press enter. Here withholding country, INT, tax type P3 and 3P, tax code, select liable, P4 and 4P, select liable. You see, like that I need to assign to all my vendors. I'll go to XK02, that's will be better. INP, P4. So this mandatory you need to assign to all your vendor. Okay. Now it has been assigned to all vendor. Now what I'll do, I'm going to post the invoices and check whether TDS is deducting or not. Now we are activated TDS, so that's the reason I need to check my invoices, whether it is calculating or not. Go to FB60 here, and vendor, you can select any vendor, because for all vendor we had assigned TDS, right? I'll mention one more. Purchase invoice posting, okay. Then for GL account, I'm going to select this one, inventory of raw material, or it is also called as purchase account, and 1 lakh. Okay, see here we got the message, or we got the information that TDS subject to withholding tax. Okay, this particular vendor subject to withholding tax. Okay, let me check whether it is calculating or not. Click on simulate. See here, this 1 lakh is an invoice, and for that one invoice 10 lakh is TDS payable, and 90,000 is a TDS. Click on save. Now we are getting the error, that is PAN number is not available. Okay, to solve this error, we are having the option, go to T code J1 ID. Okay, J1 ID. There select vendor excise detail. Click on change, new entries. Here I need to input my vendor. Okay, come little bit right side, or scroll down to right side. Here we are having the option called permanent account number. So I'll give so roughly I'm giving, it's not a real PAN number. Okay, save. Now I'll come back to FB60. I'll try to post the entry. Let me check whether it is working or not. Again, click on simulate and click on save. We are getting one more error. Could not determine the fiscal year for TDS number in this. As we mentioned, TDS should be from 1st of April to 31st of March till 2022, right? But we never mentioned that which is our starting month. Okay, 1st April is according to our company code, but system doesn't know it. That's the reason we are getting error like this. To solve this error, we need to go to IMG again. There go to Logistic General, then tax on goods movement, go to India, basic setting, then second one, maintain company code setting, new entries, company code. Here I'll mention PSD, and I'm going to mention first month is April. For me, first month is April, and save. Okay, now come back to FB60, or that's purchase invoice. Click on simulate and click on save. Now it got posted. If you want to see the document, go to document in menu bar and select display. We'll get the posting or entry like this. This is a vendor, it's an inventory of raw material, and this is a TDS payable. Okay, so see the transaction EGK and withholding tax. This vendor account number. Okay, this is how we are going to maintain the TDS. Okay, so we'll stop here today, and we'll continue the class tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tomorrow again 11:30, and again I'll update today evening. Tomorrow again 11:30 only.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.